kinda hungry, and I stopped to get a bite to eat. Next to me was a woman, so friendly,
okay, Facebook.
so happy.
Okay,
I looked at
as everybody already knows that the Senate, there was a spread of 49 to 51 vote to deny witnesses for the impeachment proceeding. Okay, that should be occurred the way it should. Okay. However, under the Constitution, the Senate can make its own rules. Okay. If you actually read the Constitution, you will understand that in order to convict a president, you have to have at least 2/3% of the vote. It says that no man is no person, brother. It says no person shall be convicted unless there is a 2/3 vote to impeach. Okay. The Senate voted 49 to 51 to provide no witnesses, where they're currently pending is a proceeding where it is expected that they're going to acquit this motherfucker up there in the White House. Well, you gotta look at it like this. What the fuck does it take for justice to go the way it should, okay, with this motherfucker, okay? He is the biggest piece of shit that I've seen in a long time to be, how anyone could see it feasible for him to be the president. No, you are a fucking idiot, okay? If you think that this man has the qualifications to be the president, he does not, okay? He does not. He is someone who has intentionally engaged in what it appears to be comparatively to a government-affiliated, state-directed terrorist organization who has, for decades, since back 1985, where he has been in business and engaged in acts of domestic terrorism, where they have previously manipulated the system after system after system after system as con artists, okay, in order to make it. Now, I posted on my Facebook site earlier today saying that there was there's an article that says that Mitch McConnell, who was supposedly accepted money from Trump's impeachment lawyers. Okay, if you recall, Michael Cohen went to jail, and under the Constitution, it says that no man can be pardoned in cases of impeachment. Okay, so basically the president can't pardon somebody in case of impeachment, but however, there's rumors that it has lingered along that Michael Cohen has been receiving some offers basically for impeachment, or not impeachment, for a pardon. Okay, well, that's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but however, it won't be hard if he gets acquitted. Okay, because he can go and let Michael Cohen out of jail. That's from what I see, but it still was a case of impeachment. So I don't know how that will play with the Constitution, but Section 4 says that any treason, bribery, or any high crimes they had to be voted on where the trier of fact, in this case where it is the Senate, would have to receive 47, as it were, 2/3% of the vote in order to get enough support to convict him or to acquit him. To acquit him, you just have to minimize it to where it's less than 2/3. Okay, but to convict him, you had to get 2/3% of the vote according to Section 4 of the Constitution of the United States. Okay. However, under the Constitution, there's some other things that they have missed, and there are some other issues that are going to be presented to Chief Justice Roberts on, and not tomorrow, on Monday. I should have them finished, and that the motion that was sent to Judge Pauley in the Michael Cohen's case that I sent to Judge Pauley in the Southern District of New York on the day that Michael Cohen was sentenced to jail. That motion, along with some other supporting evidence and information that is going to be added. Okay, the articles of impeachment can be any document within a court legal system may be amended at any time. Okay, some of you have to request special permissions for motion for leave and motion to extend time and things of that nature to file things. But an amendment of a document can be made at any time. So basically, the articles of impeachment may be amended. For this scenario, we have a dickhead that has engaged in acts that you and I could never get away with. Now, why is he so different from you and I? When the Constitution says person, I consider myself a person. Hopefully you consider yourself a person. And hopefully that any other person that decides to be an elected official and be in these positions, hopefully that person is treated just like the other person. Okay, there's no difference. So why is this motherfucker so damn different? Okay, he hasn't done a motherfucking thing up there that's been beneficial to anybody but his motherfucking self. Period. And now that the Senate has basically cleared the way, as I just seen on the front page of a newspaper, the Senate clears the way for an acquittal. Okay, well, guess what? One thing I learned in the Marine Corps is that as a leader, small unit leader, it's always better to do something than to do nothing. And I didn't raise all this ruckus and hell and all this kind of stuff to listen to and go through all these other court procedures where these fucking lawyers, when he was well aware that there was something going on. Yeah, I was well aware that something's going on because it's as obvious to fact when you get them and collect them all together and put them together and be able to understand what it is. Okay, but at the end of the day, I will say this, is that you can clear the way for an acquittal, but you're gonna also know that Chief Justice Roberts is going to get a letter from me that I'm going to request an emergency stay of any vote for an acquittal due to I'm going to ask and request, I guess it would be a party intervention. I haven't quite figured out how to navigate through that just at this point, but it's going to be filed as an emergency filing which means that the stipulations as far as the filing requirements are limited, they're taken differently when there's something that's filed emergency. So that means that all the specifics as to a regular filing that's non-emergency are going to be lessened and not held, or shouldn't be held to the high degree of filing requirements that are outlined in all the civil procedures under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Okay, so you have to understand that when you're fighting something that is going to be kind of complicated as this one is, to go after the person that I know, and I will take it to my grave with me, and you can fucking say whatever you want and think whatever you want about whatever subject matter you can waste your time on. I'm just fucking pissed off right now. Okay, I'm very pissed off. Okay, and and when you have a biasness, and then it comes out where it's been publicized and printed in the press that Mitch McConnell has received money from the impeachment team for a fuck up. Get your ass out the way, motherfucker. For an impeachment team that bitch, fuck out of my way. Okay, impeachment team that is clearly not thinking correctly. Okay, we have to do something about hearing and ensuring that the articles of impeachment are amended to reflect the issues that are important and need to be addressed. Okay, and there should not be a vote for the acquittal until all the other issues that are underlying have been appropriately addressed. Okay, Section 4 is very specific in the Constitution. It says that you have to. Okay, when there's treason, it's treasonous when you do things that are against your country. Okay, it's bribery when you have your lawyers accept money. Offer money to a body or party that is to decide whether or not you are going to be penalized for something. I'm not saying that the vote would be that he's acquitted, but the way it looks, okay, when you have no witnesses and no evidence, okay, who has ever, I don't care what court you go in, what military tribunal you go before, or what other kangaroo court or fucking whatever body that's supposed to decide something against you, there is always going to be a witness. There has to be witnesses. There has to be testimony. There has to be evidence. There has to be argument that is going to fairly and meticulously consider all that is applicable to whether or not this person has violated a certain rule of law. Okay, and there are many that he has compromised. If in fact that it comes down to the point where he is allowed to proceed without being impeached, that means that any other underlying matters won't ever be able to be readdressed on that subject again. Okay, and it's very important when you start talking, and this is what I'm saying, telling everybody, this is the textbook and definition according to a publication that is authorized by the Department of Defense for dissemination to all military troops is MCI Terrorism Awareness for Marine, MCI 10 Bravo, okay, which it identifies and talks about the different types of terrorist organizations. Out of the four, the government affiliated one is what I've always accused him of being compared it to, and now look, okay, it still fits the definition: government affiliated, state directed. Okay, he has just directed the Senate majority leaders to basically vote in a way that will open the door so that way he can easily escape justice. Okay, that's state directed. Okay, state directed terrorism. Okay, you're going to allow for a dickhead over here who has tried to basically put on an act where I'm scared that we're going to actually be taken over as a country. If you look at it geographically, if you have Trump, and then you have Kim right across the way, you have Putin right next to him, you have Xi right below Putin and Kim. That means the whole upper northern part of the globe is controlled by wannabe communists and communists. Okay? What should also be concerning is that the statements that were made that indicating that where Trump has said that does this person think that Russia could overrun Ukraine? Okay, well, what if Russia did? And I've already put this as one of the scenarios a long time ago. What if Russia, long time before it was even presented to the public, okay, that would probably be the best avenue of approach to the United States, okay, and that and when you have someone actually make that statement and it's substantiated, I didn't know, but if you look at it, common sense will tell you, look at what it is. It's the whole northern half of the continent that a communist leader would occupy. Okay. Of course, he will allow that because if he is convicted, then he knows that he is going to be in jail for a long time, and not only is he going to leave office, but all those other cases that are still pending and waiting for him, he is going to get the business. Okay, he is going to get the business. And he should, and he should not. And I don't know what the weight of all the other cases. What their evidence is, I really don't care, but I do know that my evidence is all certified by state secretaries, and so how can you get around that? How can you get around the fact that he has obtained monetary declaratory judgments from county courts for his own financial wealth and well-being, that to line his pockets up in a assumed name that was forfeited for violation of the Texas Tax Code 171.301 and 302, and while his own business, it was in tax forfeiture. So basically, you got a forfeited business for violation of taxes, sues the disabled parties, and a business's name that is forfeited for violation of the tax code. But you can't reverse that. You cannot reverse it. It's already a judge. It's a judgment. It's orders. So how could you not say that he shouldn't be punished for that? Okay. And I put proof on my Facebook page, and if you recall that in the case where Michael Wilson versus Threshold Paradise and all parties, where the state, just who state of Texas, who just conveniently, out of the blue, out of nowhere, creates a tax amnesty program, so these people can go through and sign up for this amnesty program to bring them out of tax forfeiture, where they still have not severed the taxes, and they did so in a dead man's name. Okay, this next week is the anniversary date of that occurrence, when that occurred, and these are one of the things that I have already consolidated all the documents together, and I have included the motion that was filed with Judge Polly in the Southern District of New York, and I'm sending it to Chief Justice Roberts. Okay, demanding an emergency stay of all proceedings to include any vote and everything until these documents are heard. Now, I know that there's no witnesses allowed, but however, okay, in order to present something, you as the prosecutor, and that's what I am, but what I have been trying to do, but have been getting nothing but reluctance and fuckery the whole time. Okay, but this has got to be heard. Okay, now if I'm not in a mental asylum the coming week, which I hope I'm not. I've dealt with a lot of stress before, and some things I just don't really like to talk about, because my friends or people that know me, I don't want them to think that I'm going crazy or whatever, but this is a fucking pain in the ass, and it's mentally exhausting, mentally straining, it's mentally gets the fuck on my fucking nerves, and it's a mental situation that the fucking Senate over here can decide that there's to make a rule, even though it's the Constitution says so. But I don't really I'm not really trustworthy that they would bring back a vote that would be favorable and not acquitting him on next Wednesday. Okay, so that would just break my heart to know that we have a fucked up ass system. Even though I've experienced a whole lot with the bullshit, with all the cases that they've gotten dismissals, they got dismissal with prejudice. Okay, and I've had cases where they've facilitated acts of breakdowns in my apartment to get me to sleep elsewhere, and then when I got someone's walking through there at night on several different occasions. On one time, the guy ran up to my car, and I don't know if I've talked to everybody about this. Well, I have mentioned it before, but I hadn't really elaborated on it. But I have a friend of mine that is one night, it was about maybe 4:30 in the morning. Hey, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Let me see this shit. Hey, how is that the highway closed off? Is the highway closed?
Yeah, I-20 is, yes, sir. But you can go, this will dead end into 80. Take a ride on 80, and that'll take you to Greenwood.
All right, thank you.
You can get on 80, get on interstate there.
All right, thanks. Fuck, bullshit. Okay, so if well, we're gonna have it like that. Well, back to what I was saying. I have a friend of mine that called me up early one morning, and it was like before day, like about maybe 4:30, so we needed a ride to my house, and so so I went to go pick him up. When I left my house, I was by myself, okay, and I was driving my sports car, and it's two-seater, and with with the tinted windows, you can't see inside. So I get in my car, and I leave my apartment complex where it was a gated community. All right, so on the way back in, neither of the entry gates would work. Okay, and so when the exits came open, I had to wait and someone to come out, you know, for about 10-15 minutes before someone to come out. So I'm sitting there waiting, and when the gate comes open, I go through the exit gate. I go around to my parking location, and so as I'm backing in, or as I'm coming into in front of my residence, I see someone running through the parking lot. I mean, I'm running through the parking lot. At this time of morning, they had a hoodie over their head, and it was hot outside. It's summertime. Had a hoodie on, sleeves down, pulled over their head, and so I saw my look, and then I told my friend, say, look, he looked at me. He said, where? I said, right there, he's hiding. So, and right as soon as I stopped, he runs over to my car door on the side, and he looks, and he's trying to look through the window, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So at that time, I pulled my gun out, and my friend on the other side jumped out the car, and the guy was startled because he was shocked because he didn't realize there was someone there with me. And so, but I couldn't get out the car because he was like standing in a way that where I couldn't get out the car. So the only thing I would be able to do was, if I need to fire or something like that, was going to be to shoot through the window. And so, which I would have. But my friend ran around the car and chased the guy off. All right. Months later, my friend's in the incident, where he's been locked up and charged with murder. All right, and remains in jail this day. When he hadn't killed nobody, and they hadn't even prosecuted. In fact, they haven't even scheduled him for another court date. He's just sitting in jail, and no court date, and no conviction, no nothing. Okay, and the court knows who he is, and but what the fuck is going on? No, you can't just do it like that. Okay, just because you know that this guy has some other information, he also knows some other information also, and that but you're not gonna go through and hold him in incarceration without those issues being addressed either. If you recall that Michael Cohen said that Trump had a real bad bitter taste in his mouth about any type of controversial media or websites or articles and stuff that made him look bad. Yeah, you know, I do have a website called the Techno-Terrorism America, and there are several people that I sit and converse with, just because I know that the majority of them, they go out and they get into the most trouble. Okay, so the kid that's in jail now, you know, he's a good friend of mine, but you know, he has a magnet for trouble. I need to go this way. Okay, I can't go that way, dude. I need to go this way. Hey, I need to go right. I need to go right.
I know, you gotta hold up. It's all held up right here.
I know. Can I go around you this way?
You can. Let me
Okay.
stop them real quick.
Alright, thanks. I had to fucking kind of skip over in the lane. I know there was, I'm in a traffic jam for some reason, and so I didn't want to wait in all the traffic, so I just went down the empty side, and then you're supposed to make a left, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in, or at least he understood. So, but anyway, my friend's in jail with a murder case, and he ain't killed nobody, and no court date in sight. They give him a rogue prosecutor as his defense attorney, and a real high bond. All right, and you know, he had trouble. Was like a magnet getting in trouble. His has 47 felonies, but I've gotten him out of all of them basically, and kept him on the street. This is the only thing that I didn't have any success in helping him with. But 47 felonies and I don't know how many misdemeanors, but they're, you know, I think more than, there's been more than almost $40,000 just in bonds trying to get him out of jail and this and that and the other, but all that is due to leverage. Nobody else would be in jail for that long, for this amount of time, when there is no evidence, no witnesses, no statements or anything that says that he's killed anybody. You know, I think he's in jail for a different reason, and I think that reason is because he has the knowledge of a material fact that these people were more than likely trying to set it up to where they could get in a position to try and harm me. Okay. Remember last week he said about the ambassador, take her out, get her out of there, get rid of her. As far as take her out, take her out. Okay, that could be misconstrued and can be construed in a whole lot of ways. Okay, take her out, no, get rid of her, get her out of there. Now get her out of there, maybe. Okay, but get rid of her, take her out. No, when you take somebody out, I'm an infantryman. Okay, when we say take somebody out, that's what that fucking means. That we're gonna do what the mission of a Marine rifleman does. Okay, but when you got all these kind of issues that are going on, and I'm pretty good at keeping secrets in there, keep my mouth shut. I open it a lot, but then for you to be able to really understand what it is, you're not gonna really know what it is and how it all molds together and piece together until it actually is ready to be known by everyone. So I'm going to, before I go into some other subjects that are a really grave concern and not a personal, but for something that is important for the nation to know, is that just do know is that there is a motion for stay I'm going to file. I'm going to do everything I can, thinking that I thought maybe that we had some time, because by the time that they got done litigating and arguing all these other cases that well, this other case with the Ukraine situation, which I have already stated, it's gotta be there's a terrorist organization somewhere along the line, and just the components of how everything goes is I'm not right on point, but I am right at the door and understand what exactly it could be and more than likely is. Okay. So, but you don't find out these things until you really do a thorough investigation. And even if you did know the facts, that you're still not going to really know until some questions have been answered. And so questions are going to have to be answered, and there's some interviews and depositions got to be taken, and as the witnesses are going to have to come about, and I think there's going to have to be a revote and all that. Okay. I don't know what the Constitution says with the rights to appeal, because you know you still got the Bill of Rights. Okay, even though you got the Constitution, get the Bill of Rights, there's several other doctrines that we have go through. But I went through and I downloaded the Constitution. I had it electronically read to me several times in the past couple weeks, and to make sure that I refresh myself on it. And that there's still a whole avenue to go about around to get this thing done, and fairly, okay. And but as far as a fair and impartial Senate, that is something that's really fucked up. And but at the end of the day, I still can say that he has feloniously obtained or misappropriated through larceny and funds and money that he had no jurisdiction to do. The court warrant to appeal where they remember where the court reporter they started to charge me all this money for the court reporter's record, which if you were to see it, you will see exactly what happened in that courtroom. Okay, that's one. I was only released one. Okay, but there are 3 other court reporter records where they were not released. And the only way that I would get those released is going to be, it's going to cost me almost about 15 grand just to get it from what the court reporter has stated that it was going to cost for cost of the record, which she can charge whatever the fuck she wants. Right, exactly. And then she teamed up with his lawyers, Kiki Kaka in the courtroom on their side. That's why I say collusion, the cooperation of conspiracy between ostensible opponents. You have the state, ostensible opponents used involved in a lawsuit. That's what collusion means. Involved in a lawsuit. We have the state court reporter and his fucking lawyers over here. They teamed up together against me in order to get the case thrown out and make it complicated for me to be able to get a copy of the transcripts that I know that if the public was to see them, then you would see just how fucked up this shit is. Okay, so, but I gotta figure out what the fuck is going on. I wish I could turn my truck into a helicopter because I really want to get out of this traffic because I'm just fucking sitting here and I got shit to do. Alright, but I'm gonna go ahead and hang up now and just know that on Monday, if you hear my name, then don't be surprised. If you don't hear my name, then be surprised because just know that I am gonna have it in there, and that Chief Justice Roberts will know, and he may know tomorrow. Okay, all I had to do is proofread a letter. So I'm gonna write in that letter. As far as the order of vexatious litigant, you know, I have a state district court judge tells me that I can't file in any state or federal court. Well, Judge, that really is another compromise of my civil rights because, see, you can't really make an order or generate an order for barring me from filing in a jurisdiction that exceeds your jurisdiction, the one that you sit at. Okay, so state, you can't, a state court order, you can't order me not to do something in a federal court. Okay, yeah, they signed that order to mute me in order to, but you can do whatever the fuck you want to because I got a federal protective order that says you still ain't gonna fucking be able to do nothing if I do violate it. So fuck you and all that. Okay, the senior chief justice already told me that it doesn't affect my appellate rights. So, but just in case that you think it does and want to come up with some fuckery in the process, well, I got this here. You can chew on that and then take me after that. It's gonna, all hell is gonna break loose. Alright, put your fucking hands on me, okay? But all hell is gonna break loose. So that's how it's gonna go. And I'll go down with the ship. If I'm not in the mental institution by next week, if I'm being so mad, I am really highly perturbed right now. I am really perturbed. So just believe it. So hopefully everybody just don't think I'm crazy. I'm gonna go through and do what I can. I'm still Mike. I'm still the same old. Okay, there's not other things that have changed. I still do the things that I do, and not gonna deviate from my activities whatsoever as much as I can. Okay, as far as dealing with someone coming to try to harm me, I'm not fucking afraid of you or anybody else. If you think I am, okay, well, try it. Okay, but we're gonna leave that alone because I'm not trying to provoke nobody into to try to pull my punk card or whatever, because you're not gonna pull it. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and sum it like that, and then I'm gonna see how I can get out of this motherfucking traffic, and maybe I can turn it to a 4x4 and then I'll do it that way. Alright, so but I-20 is closed down for some reason in one section, and I'm not telling you which way I'm going, but that's not important, and where I am, and because it ain't none of your business. But however, I'm going to Dallas. Okay, believe it. Okay, you believe it? Yeah, believe it. Alright, but alright, y'all. So I will just tell y'all good night, and so just know that yeah, I am working a whole lot of hours and been doing a whole lot of things for the past couple of weeks trying to get things ready because I knew that it was some bullshit was gonna come along the way, and then here we have it. So if those of you Trump supporters out there, if you think that this motherfucker's just gonna get out there easy, no, it's not gonna be that easy, because I don't know a whole lot about the law, but I can tell you something. I think I probably know a whole lot more than what those motherfuckers were arguing over there. You know how fucking retarded they are? They are fucking idiots, dude. Some of them don't even know fucking basic shit, basic legal shit. I'm like, are you serious? And they're your fucking leaders. That's the reason why we have this type of fuckery and this bullshit that goes on, and this dumbass can go in here and fucking trick the game up and get away with all this shit. Now, you can't just do it like that. You gotta have a fair and impartial process. It has to be fair to everybody, and it cannot be one-sided. The scales of justice don't work like that. It has to start out balanced. Okay, but when you got some of the fucking Congress and all of the Senate and the vote, and the other bullshit on top of the bribery and shit, the scales of justice it's not balanced. Okay, it's one-sided. Okay, so how are you gonna win? You have to win it by, you have to fucking even the scales. The scales are gonna have to be even, and just the way, some other kind of way. And I'm sorry, even though that everybody you may or may not know, if you kept up with the Constitution from government or history, or if you had it in college or university, you know there was 27 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, and so some of the amendments that was argued the other day, well, some of the arguments the other day were on amendments that were on articles of the Constitution that already have been amended, and they was using the old law. No, you got to argue that shit the right way, dude. Because if there's been a change, you need to argue with the most recent. Don't go get the first one, okay? Because that's not what the right one and what it says. It says in the amended version this, okay? And that's what you have to do. You need to be able to point that out. And you have to go through and decipher, do your homework. What it is these people are going through, they get paid for their time involved in an impeachment proceeding. They do. They get paid extra, okay? So some of them did it just, okay, it's extra money for me, okay? But you're going to have to interpret the law the way it's read. And if it's not read, if it's not executed in a way that is written, then you have to go and make sure that you address and point out that what happened, okay, and why you think there's a problem or issue, okay. And I'm not afraid to do that. So we're just gonna see what happens. So everybody just stay tuned next week. And if you have any issues or any type of I'm not gonna say influence, because that would be kind of like using your influence to persuade someone's vote, okay? You can't do that, okay? But if you if you have a reason, which everybody should, do you want to be a communist country? Okay, if you clear the way for this motherfucker tonight to get acquitted from this impeachment, and these dumb fucks go in and vote for this motherfucker again and vote him back in office, do you know the probability? For real. If you did ever did like in college, we had statistics. I always have a problem saying that word. I mean in that class though, but statistics. Now I have what's called the probability, the probability, Bill Tower, stuff like that. But so they go probability. What's the probability of this? Okay, you can go to the probability of something, and you can use that equation that you learn in statistics in order to determine a whole lot of other things, or what the likelihood of a whole lot of other things is. And the Bell Tower tells me that more than likely, if you were to continue to support, we will be, if not a communist country, we will be close to close to being a communist country. Okay, for real. All right. So, but I'm gonna get off the phone here, and because I need to drive, and where to? I can't get around all these motherfuckers, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm gonna try to turn it on the thing here and see what the hell is going on. So at least we're moving a little bit now. I'm moving at 20 miles per hour. But everybody just kind of stay tuned and be supportive this week. Kind of just, if you haven't been watching the pizza proceeding, I know it's kind of boring and shit, and seeing the fucking dumbasses fucking talk. But I'm just gonna. You have to let me talk to him. You do. You have to. You have to. You have to, dude. And I mean, and you can say I'm crazy. Yeah, I gotta talk to him. Period. Because I want everybody in there. You fucked up all these people's shit and mine too. So no, you gotta fucking pay for that shit. Period. You paying your fucking lawyers, paying but Mitch McConnell off to pay the whole goddamn Senate off. Who else got some fucking little friendly little disbursements from this one side that's bullshit where you don't go and want to vote? I went, we ain't gonna have that witness, have that evidence. No motherfucker, you need to have a witness, dude. If you ain't done so much, why the fuck that's why you ain't done nothing, because you know that it's gonna be one side that you ain't gonna have no witness to testify against it. I haven't did anything. I say the same damn thing too. If I had that type of money to go and buy the whole shit, but you don't fucking stole in the first place, probably the border wall money. And these dumbasses and shit that fucking authorized the border wall, where this motherfucker probably not created about 100 million frivolous ass construction company that got the money in his pocket. Now you put up a piece of shit ass fucking wall that part of it done blew down and over in Mexico just this past week. Okay, so cheap ass bullshit. So how many billions of dollars you pay for that? No, you didn't pay for shit. I could build that shit with a hammer and nail as strong as it was, and the wind's gonna blow it down. Okay, with the billions of dollars they put in that motherfucker, that shit should be a fucking fortress. Okay, you should have a fucking goddamn 30-foot goddamn cement concrete billboard wall up around this motherfucker where it is gonna be merely impossible for you to even throw a grappling hook or anything like that up that bitch. You can have a fucking cement block a mile long, up to a mile long as far as the width, not the height, but just the width of it. It probably could be a mile long, but like a 10 miles high with the amount of money that you done got for this motherfucker. And then with another 10 miles below ground with the amount of money, this motherfucker stole it, okay? I'm sure, yes. He has stolen up just to fucking pay out the whole damn Senate to board a pizza trial. Because it's really gonna be, I really wanna know just how much money did Mr. McConnell, if any, if that statement is true, if that article is true, how much money does it cost to buy or occupy for a state-directed terrorist organization to occupy the United States? That's interesting. Okay, it's very scary too, but this is what happens when you are gullible and don't want to face the facts as you see it. You got to call it what it is and be honest about it. I don't have to make up shit, because everything that it doesn't faze me none what this motherfucker will try to get away with, because he has no other choice. Okay, so I'm gonna get out this phone here. So I think I want to park my put my shit in park and sit here, because we are not going nowhere. All right, well, good night, everybody.